Of course you did. And you wanted to do this while you were on the air, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Creepy to the show.
I can't stay away, can I?
Nope. So we were just discussing there's the applause. The relationship between you two, because we talked about it earlier. And Decker had some really nice things to say about you.
And then
I
he
find that
chastised
hardly
me for saying that I was, enjoying fucking with your head.
It kind of depends on how you mean that.
Yes.
Messing. Playing around.
Decker, you've already sank your own ship.
Damn.
Awesome. Well, I'm soaking up the rays right now with this. I feel like a sandwich right now, and I'm the meat in the middle that Decker did not like. But
You see, you gotta explain that because Creepy missed the joke.
yes,
Well,
actually,
it's funny enough on its own.
Everyone watching or listening to the podcast will get it, but Creepy is just kind of sitting here like, yep, man sandwich, good enough for me.
Pretty much.
I don't even need to go into that, do I? I'm good with
No.
the sandwich thing.
Oh, you're already in it.
Aw. That explains that. But I did want to ask a couple of questions while I have both of you at the same time. Again,
Oh,
that
all right.
sounded very dirty, but I wanted to ask: are you guys going to be working on anything soon together?
Hmm.
I haven't really got anything major lined up that I'm going to be like, okay, Creepy's going to be here for 90% of it. But Creepy, I did wonder if I could get you. I was thinking of this for several manic expressionists, but mainly for you because you're you in the summer of Seagal. Just a cameo, if you will, at some point, maybe a little.
Maybe a little. You know, if I could get something from you sometime around in, say, the whole month of October.
That sounds like a fair deal.
I thought so.
Wait a minute.
This was planned out, by the way. I just want you to know right now that I had talked to Creepy earlier about this, and I'm glad I just set that up.
I should have finished listening to that podcast. Now I'm left in the dark.
I feel like I've set up something beautiful tonight, and I got to, this is actually a very special moment for me. I got to basically interview the two guys that brought me to the site, and it has been amazing since I have joined, and I just wanted to say thank you, both of you, Decker and Creepy.
I'm just a guy.
No, you're not.
Long hair.
You're both guys with long hair.
Oh,
I just so
okay.
happen to be, I just have the added stat bonus of being creepy.
Yeah.
So is that what we do, Creepy? Is we reel guys in with our hair? We just kind of lasso it around them and drag them to manic expression? You will enjoy this.
That
we
was
have
it.
videos you shall watch.
I think that works for me. Hey, does your hair have the prehensile power, or is it just strictly for tying people up?
I like to think that mine generates a little, static cling. Just people latch onto them. They can try and rip it
I
off.
would
and
have
another
gone. I
piece
would have
just-
gone with the tentacle thing, considering how much porn you watch.
You know what I think? Okay, I'll tell you what drew me to the site. Decker's hair, it's got that curl to it, right? It pulls you in. It's almost like it's magnetic. But Creepy's hair, it's so silky smooth looking, and you just want to touch it and run your hands through it. I could literally just sit here and run my hands through both of your hair at the same time. I feel like my hand would get tangled in Decker's hair, but I feel like my hand could almost get greasier in Creepy's hair. But if you put them together, it would be just blissful.
I don't think you should talk about putting Decker and Creepy together. There's connotations of that might be taken the wrong way by certain parties.
Like everyone we know and people we don't.
Well, then I probably shouldn't bring it up. Ah, crap.
And well, I still have you guys here. Is there anything you would like to say before we end the show?
We're ending the show? No.
Well, we don't have to. I just didn't know if you guys wanted to still do it. Normally, everybody's gone in 5 minutes.
But I love to ramble, and I have so much ramble left in me.
Feel free to ramble.
Believe me.
You see, you're going to end the show and just going to leave me here sitting at my computer, and I'm just going to keep talking for another hour.
He's been talking to himself for 3 hours now. What do we do?
Oh, hey, John. Did you get into the topic of Decker's penis yet?
I have not. But you know what, guys? This show is not ended yet. We still have plenty of time. We're just gonna take a quick break then here, so I can get another drink. And we'll be right back. I'm just gonna pause it here. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is my radio voice. Sounds just like my other voice, except for I speak a little bit deeper. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
I actually wanted to try and get on radio at one point.
You should.
What really sucked was, at the time I was attempting, the only means I had to apply was a letter. You can imagine how effective that is.
Well, you could. They could read your letter on the radio, I guess.
If you know me, you read my text in my voice, but
Yeah. I believe Decker would sound something like this. Hey guys, Decker Shadow here. Nah. Yeah, you
time
do.
for a good old forehead slap.
You do have that kind of voice that should be either on the radio or doing what you're doing, like a voiceover of some sort.
I honestly, yeah, I always thought
Already do
Decker's
that
voice was
part
pretty
of it,
appre.
So, yay.
Mm-hmm.
That was back years ago. I was thinking, you know what, I could do radio. And then that went nowhere because I was a nobody and I couldn't even go anywhere to talk. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, while we're recording live here, let's. I got a couple emails, or one from the site, from the podcast I just uploaded for the Creepy Podcast by Movie Fan 12. It says, "Great interview, Creepy. You're awesome. Don't ever change."
Oh,
Yeah, movie fans I love movie fan. He's a good kid.
Yeah, yeah. Do you guys find it weird? Because we're all probably in our 30s or at least close to.
Yeah.
don't remind me. It's
Decker is
coming
going
up.
Yeah.
Decker is going through some transitional anxiety.
Oh.
This month, I will no longer have a 2 in the 10 spot.
Yeah. It's the big one, hey? Yeah. I hit mine last year, and I have to say I feel bad for everybody that was around me at the time because I was definitely going through some weird changes. It was like puberty all over again. And I found for me it was, and you know when they say that you put everything in perspective when you're on your deathbed and you look back on your life, I found like hitting 30 was that for me anyway. Everything.
Well, I think what's funny is that whenever I look back, I kind of see me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not even ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
I've just kind of been there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Creepy knows this story, but have you heard the tale of my first film review?
No, let's hear.
I was about, I'd like to say 3. 3 or 4. I'm not sure. But I was living in Vermont. This was after my father finally got us out of the fucking woods and moved into a nice little upstairs building.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was trying to put the fear of God into me the best way he knew how. Through television.
No.
And he picked out some horror movies. And he had me sit down and watch these horror movies, telling me that this was hell. And if I did things to upset God, this was going to happen to me. So I'm watching these movies. And keep in mind, I'm like 3 or 4. I can't remember exactly what. And I have to be honest, I don't remember if I said these things or just thought these things. But the thoughts definitely came up. Wait, if this is hell, then they're already dead. Why should they be afraid of death again? Does it hurt? And it's really more like an inconvenience, isn't it? Because they're just going to come back the next day, right?
Were you watching Hellraiser? Did your father make you watch Hellraiser?
I don't remember what it was. I remember one scene specifically, someone trying to run through somewhere and escape by this one cloaked figure, and as soon as he gets to the cloaked figure, the cloak opens up and grabs him around and just kind of, and then it opens up and it's just bones drop out.
Huh.
I remember
Up until that
scene
last
distinctly.
part right there, he described what 3/4 of every horror film that was ever made.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I recognize the scene in a lot of things, and then there's no bones dropping out after the eating. I'm like, aw.
Didn't that happen in the Care Bears movie?
Which one?
The first one, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the one with the talking book.
But the thought was always in my head. What's that? It's like, if it says hell, you can't die again.
Yeah, yeah. So even as a child, you were already trying to outsmart everyone around you.
So even as a child, I was finding logical flaws in horror movies, of all things. But it wasn't necessarily
This
a
is
problem
where
with the
it
movie,
began.
but a problem with the
Yeah.
presentation, with how my father was trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Logic stops the juggernaut, people.
Now, do you still speak to your father?
No. I looked him up recently, and it wasn't pretty. I didn't talk to him. I tried to see if he had a Facebook, and indeed he does. And, well, first of all, he's a, absolutely insane conspiracy theorist.
Oh no.
He's still very, very much into his specific take on religion. And I think he might have finally stopped reproducing
That's a good thing. Yeah.
because there was something kind of disturbing I found out. His latest child, which he probably conceived sometime when he was 65-ish,
Wow.
happened to turn out about as well as you'd expect from a child who was conceived by a father who was 65-ish, as in having severe deformities.
Oh.
So that's my little half-brother there.
Literally.
And I'm like, wow, Dad, you really, really fucked up.
Wow. Did you send him a message, or did you just kind of?
I just kind of left it at that.
Yeah, yeah. I would have probably done the same thing if I had a half brother that was half of a brother.
Well, he's a whole brother. He's, well, a whole half brother. He's just,
Hole in a half.
he's a victim, another victim of my father's behavior, but in a different way than I was.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's pretty dark.
That's
I've
life.
said this to Decker before. I know so many people who have these tragic backstories that involve dad issues. Enough that I think we should start a club. What would we call ourselves, though?
Oh, that's a good one. I think.
The Chris Nolan School of Father Issues?
I like it.
What kind of father issues do you have to have in order to join?
I think we would take most kinds.
I don't really
know.
have any though.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
mean-
congratulations.
I would say you could take mine, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody, to be honest.
Should we lighten
I
up the subject?
I want to joke that you would wish that on your brother, but that's kind of redundant.
Do you have any other siblings? I know Creepy does.
What, Creepy or me?
Well, you, because I know Creepy already does. Yeah, yeah.
I've got, well, over a dozen, but from my mother, I have older sister, older brother, and younger brother.
Did they turn out pretty normal? That sounds so mean. I'm sorry.
I don't think so. There's no normal line in my family. No one turned out like the other.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
That was just cruel.
Just by itself, what a question to ask. But at the same time, knowing what I know about Decker's backstory, that just becomes doubly hilarious.
But seriously, I mean the whole thing with my what? Could you stop laughing at my pain, Creepy? Really?
I'm just laughing with him.
I'm just saying that going by my family as a gradient, there's no middle ground. There's no normal. There's no average.
But
everyone is so fucked up.
But at the same time,
But in
anybody
so
could
many
say that.
different ways.
Yeah. What would you say? No, don't tell me you're one of those type that are going to be like, I'm the only normal one in my family.
Oh hell no, I'm not normal.
All right, what's abnormal about you?
Oh well, first of all, of course, I got the hell away from everyone. I flew the coop. Part of me coming to Texas was to get away from my family.
Yeah.
Me and my older brother, we don't agree on much at all. We have very different perspectives about a lot of things. We could still talk. He's still my brother. But when it comes to the big two, religion and politics,
You just try to avoid that at family functions.
now me and my sister, we don't talk much at all simply because we're practically estranged. She's friendly to me, and she calls me up sometimes. But it's just kind of a, hi, I remember you from decades ago.
Yeah.
My little brother, he flew the coop long before I did, but in a completely different direction.
Oh, really?
So he's up back in Vermont last I checked. And I think he was doing some stuff where he has a... I want to say he has a pet store. And a drug habit. But I couldn't pin down either of those 100%.
What pet store isn't backed up by a drug run? I
So
sell
I
cats
can't
and
say
cocaine.
for sure what everyone's doing everywhere. I don't know.
You know, it sounds pretty normal to me. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say normal, but it sounds like, you know, every family has that kind of dark backstory that nobody really wants to talk about.
I think one of the problems is the idea of a normal family. I think it's normal for a family to be dysfunctional. I haven't met one that isn't.
Yeah, no, it's true.
True.
Yeah. Because Creepy, you got some stories of your own.
Well, let's see. We didn't go this in the interview. It just never came up. But you know, there's the time my mother, when I was planning to go to Baltimore for Otakon, and my mother came to me with a story that she had supposedly heard on TV about how ketchup bottles were spreading HIV.
Interesting.
Never mind the fact that
scientific studies on that personally.
Never mind that. Just the fact that if this were in any way true, pretty
We're
much
all
all of the state would have been shut down, and there would have been a massive recall, and I probably wouldn't have had to hear it from her.
Call me a skeptic, but
Yeah. There was also the time, and this one you're really going to laugh about. This stayed funny for a long time afterwards. There was the time my mother and my one of my sisters, whose name I'll go ahead and give her name here. I'm a jerk ass that way. Her name is Gay. Gay. That's her actual name. She was born in the 60s. Apparently it had a different context back then, but moving right along. My mom and my sister say what?
I'm sorry. I was just thinking. I understood immediately in the '60s, like, okay, gay, happy, '60s child, named after weird things.
Yeah.
So that's when you have kids named Rainbow or kids named
August.
yeah.
But anyway, my mother and Gay barge into my room without knocking one day to tell me it is illegal. This was incidentally back in 2004. This was shortly after I had bought a computer for myself. They barge in and they tell me it's illegal to download on the internet.
What the hell else are you gonna do on it?
Everything you do is download.
This is not insulting anyone who's listening, including those those present in this show. But just to clarify something, just to paint the picture even clearer for you.
Mm-hmm.
By definition, downloading is the receiving of information to your computer from an outside source. So when you are online, when you are connected to the internet, you are constantly downloading and uploading. It may not be being saved to your hard drive, but you are at minimum downloading to your screen. So
for example, you are downloading this podcast right now.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So for the government to make it illegal to download, not only would I not have heard this information from them, I probably wouldn't have been connected to the internet when they barged into my room in the first place. This is what I lived with. Okay, this is the kind of logic that that the household ran on a daily basis. Okay, it by that point I had long since trying to reason with them. I would just nod and go on about my business. There is no point trying to reason. You just pretend that all is well.
Now, when you finally left the homestead, what did your mom think of that? Actually, that question goes out to both of you.
Oh, I was about to ask. Sorry, who does that question apply to?
Yeah. Since it's my show, maybe I should answer first, sir. Thank you.
We could do it that way.
That was an asshole thing to say. I'm sorry. That didn't feel good at all.
Deal with it.
That could... Yeah. I'll just start talking. Ow, Tara, stop biting my arm.
Time's up, Decker.
Wait, no.
Go on.
Well, when I first left my house, I told my... Ow, Tara, stop biting my arm.
I'm assuming that's not his girlfriend.
So
I am in physical pain from not responding to that statement.
So anyway, I had told my mother and brother, who I was living with at the time, that my romp to Texas was another one of my crazy vacations. Because previously I had taken 2 very pricey, rather short notice vacations.
Finland?
To Finland, yes. How did you know?
I know all. What?
Okay. So it was somewhat easy for me to just say that Texas is another vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't question it enough to stop me. And so 1 week later, when it was supposedly time for me to fly home, is when I called them up and said, I'm not coming. And it was over the phone. They were just telling me all about how I cannot just... no, sir, you are going to the airport. You are getting on that plane. You are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That worked well.
And I sat there and I wasn't able to speak back for a while because I have a difficult time with, you know, arguments with someone, you know, really talking down to you and berating you.
Mm-hmm.
And because you might not realize this watching my show, but I actually do suffer from anxiety.
Hmm.
And my ex-girlfriend, for instance, she had a knack for uh, yelling at me so much for so long. She actually holds the record for being the only person that caused me to actually have an anxiety attack.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
And she caused two, in fact. But with my mother and brother over the phone, they weren't quite that harsh.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my brother back on. He was telling me about, have to come, can't just do this. I just said, okay, I'm not coming home. I called to let you know I'm not coming home.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I heard was, you can't just, before I hit the button.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what settled it. I was in Texas, and it was a long time before I made contact with my family again. And one thing I was hoping, I was really hoping, was that my mother was going to get out and get a job.
Mm-hmm.
This was in 2007, so it was before the big crash and everything. So jobs were slightly easier to get at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly.
And I always held the opinion that my mother's biggest problem for the fact that she never found a job is the fact that she never looked.
Yeah.
So by taking away my income from their household, I hope that would give her incentive to get the hell up and look. Of course, I put too much faith in her with this, as instead she got my older brother to get a second job.
Mm-hmm.
So now my older brother's working himself to death, and he hates me for that because I'm the one that left and put that situation on him, despite the fact that I still say that our mother should have been going and working in the first place. Now she is at the point where she is honestly physically incapable. But I really think that if she had been a little more active for a while in her life, that might not have been the case.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's hard to try and say I'm right, they're wrong when, there's a lot of variables with all sorts of things. But that's the situation from my perspective. Anyway.
I can say that for you. Your mother was wrong.
Oh, well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Your situation, creepy, if you will. That's right, I'm hosting now. Deal with it.
Can I listen?
Very well. You may listen.
I'll mute my microphone. Go on.
Well, let's see. I actually have two stories. I'll keep them as brief as I can.
Oh, we're recording for good now. You guys are never leaving.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll make them long. The first time I tried to move out, I was planning to go back to college. That ended up being kind of that was a bad idea. But I spent a year away from home working first working part-time, then working full-time, and following on this and a fallout with the man I was rooming with.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Wound up having to he asked me to be his roommate. I moved back in. I did. And then within a month or so, he was ready for me to move out. It's like I admit it was not. I was not. I'm not totally at fault. I had just moved out. I was in no hurry to. I had little motivation to clean or anything like that. So I was a slob to live with. At the same time, though, for all his bitching and complaining, and saying that he didn't want me around anymore, he still wanted to use my stuff. One of which was a cell phone. Was my cell phone. Like I remember one point, he literally flew into this screaming fit and bit my head off. And once he was done, he picked up my cell phone and locked himself in his room and called his girlfriend without asking. So, following this debacle, I ended up having to. I had a choice. I could try and live on my own, which I had a feeling that wasn't going to work out very well because I was, at that point, the place where I was working, I was getting ready. I was so frustrated by it, I was getting ready to hurt someone. And I knew I wasn't going to last long there. That was going down one way. That was going under one way or the other. And well, honestly, I had this idea that I would probably end up out on the street somewhere. So I moved back in with my parents, and while this didn't go badly at first, or as badly as I expected it to initially, it was more a slow sink. Within a year or two, I found myself back in the. It was the same thing it was before. So I ended up moving out the second time, and it sticking. I moved into a trailer. Yes, I actually lived in a trailer at one point, a white trailer, no less. So I was literally white trailer trash. This place, okay. While I was grateful to be out of my, I didn't even move very far. I moved into the next county, which was only about 10 miles or so away. But while I was glad to just be out, this place was kind of a dump. Like, the walls were full of rats. I finally managed to get the roach problem under some semblance of control just in time for all of the flies in the summertime to take over. There was only one air conditioning unit, and using it even for a couple of hours could double the electric bill. So I couldn't use the air conditioner. It was freezing in the winter, and it was a pine box in the summertime. Also, we had major plumbing problems because the woman who lived next door to me had dogs, and they would get up under the trailer and get into fights, knocking the plumbing loose. So the pipes leaked. The roof, the floor was weak in certain spots. The roof, I think, leaked a little bit, not enough for it to be. Thankfully, that didn't occur. And it just, I could go on. Oh yeah, and the rats started chewing in the wiring. So thankfully, it didn't go up in flames, but it did, mean that the electricity in certain rooms didn't work. And there's a long, long list. It got really bad when the toilet stopped working. So, I lived there for close to 2 years. And it was at that point that I was able to move in with my godmother. And I've lived there ever since. So that was what I was leaving when I moved in with my godmother. So regarding what I said earlier about, sticking it out because of her, I think that adds to the explanation just a little bit.
There's always that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was what I was willing to move into to avoid having to stay with my mother and stepfather.
Wow. I gotta say, I got nothing. I don't have a story that would in any way compare to that misery it sounds like you guys have had to put up with.
Not everyone's life has to suck.
Oh.
There's always this saying, laugh so you don't cry.
Yeah.
I think I learned that one from Creepy. Now I'm plagiarizing it.
Nice. Who's gonna see the end result of that?
Oh, okay.
So what else should we talk about? I'm still recording live.
Oh, there's
okay.
a lot we could still talk about.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Cool.
I mean, we still haven't talked about Decker's penis.
Oh yeah, Decker, tell us
We're
about your
still
penis.
not going to talk about Decker's penis.
What's its name? How big is it? Does it have the same kind of hair as you? I mean, your head, your other head. You know which one?
Is the hair down there just as nice?
Yeah.
Why must we talk about my penis?
Can you perm it? I want to see it permed.
It,
Mine's all like Canadian bush like.
I used to have this freaky afro thing going on until I started trimming it.
Screw trimming. I'm all natural, sir. Who am I kidding? When I
I'm
was in my
staying
early
out of this
20s.
conversation.
Yeah. How do I edit Decker out of this conversation in the end? Yeah. One day when he's a millionaire and he's doing movies and film, I'll put this on the internet again. Talking about
So, there's still this burning question about Decker's penis. Can you please answer it? What the fuck are you people following me around for?
I heard he has a
And then we'll cue
tattoo.
the song. Take a look at my enormous penis.
I listened to it too.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Who wrote that?
A group called Da Vinci's Notebook.
Okay. I'll have to play that at the end of the podcast. Definitely. All right, so what are we going to talk about? Because there's a lot of people listening right now that are totally intrigued by this conversation, I'm sure. You guys
yes.
both have like an amazing fan following. You do know that, right?
I'm pretty sure they're
I
not
seem-
interested in my penis.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Just
There
imagine.
might be a few, but I believe it's just a vocal minority.
He's wrong.
Yeah. Creepy changed his email to make it look like it was you, just so we can get the feedback from the fans asking you about your penis.
Damn it! You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Well, we can't stop it now.
That's true.
All right, let's talk about you know what, I honestly don't know what to talk about.
Oh, we've covered
I
a great
just-
many
I
topics,
hear
but
you
there's
say
just
things
so
like-
much still to bring to the table.
All right.
I hear you say things like I have this huge following, and well, you know, as Decker demonstrated earlier, you know, he made the phone call just so he could tell me how many subscribers he has at this moment.
Oh yeah, 1,826.
He knows the exact number, no less.
I just refreshed the page.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I also know the amount of subscribers I have. Guess, I dare you. I'll give you a hint. It's in between 1 and 10.
7.
You need
8. You were so close.
you need more subscribers. Yeah. I have a couple. I have something like. I have over 340. YouTube, it's like they fluctuate. It's like they went. It came close to 350, and then it dropped back down, and now it's climbing again. So I don't know if that's YouTube messing up or if people are just being capricious.
Mine dropped down a bit recently as well. Sometimes YouTube does this thing where they roll through and they delete subscribers that are on inactive accounts or closed accounts or what have you.
Yeah.
So if we both had a sudden dip, wouldn't surprise me that.
They do kind of YouTube probably goes over all the accounts once a month or something like that, kind of like an auditing almost. And then they basically say, "Oh, you don't exist anymore. You're not worthy of YouTubing anymore." That's why I have 10 or 8. Yeah, I have 8. And actually, I'm gonna admit something right now because you guys have told me some pretty personal stuff and some pretty cool stories. One of those subscribers are my other account.
So I was right. I was right.
Damn you.
Congratulations, Decker. It had to happen someday.
Yeah. Hey.
Does it hurt? I hear it hurts the first time.
You're freaking hurt.
I do want to ask your opinion, and I guess this
I will
is.
not put up with this without a Mountain Dew.
I heard the Mountain Dew story. I like the Mountain Dew story.
Oh, he told you the story of the Mountain Dew.
Yeah, you guys met for the first time, was it?
Yes.
It's
Face
like a
to
love
face,
story.
yes.
Yeah, face to face, of course. Yeah. I'm gonna make a movie about this.
Do I get like do we get some sort of credit for it? You know, like
No royalties. No. I'm gonna get a couple of other actors to play your parts, of course.
but who will you find to replace our awesome hair?
Oh, I'm sure I'll find somebody. Like, what's that guy? That guy used to Fabio. Fabio will play. He'll play Decker Shadow. And who can play creepy? Let's think for a second here.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah. He's not creepy enough though. He's eerie, but he's not creepy. Who is a creepy guy that could play creepy?
Okay,
I almost want to say Robin Williams, but we're not really in the right age bracket.
No, he's far too old. He would have been
Nicolas
good
Cage?
if it was the 80s. Nicolas Cage, not quite. He's way too over-actory. you ever watch a creepy video? He kind of lays back. You know, you can tell he's relaxed when he's doing it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You need somebody that looks like they're half baked already and they're just kind of like, oh, it's all good. You need
So many people assume that I am a pothead.
I never said you were a pothead. You just
You
look
never
really
said
nice.
that, but you insinuated
You know,
it.
it sucks moving away from the city because there's nothing at fucking all around here. But on the other hand, when I walk down the street, because I don't run into anyone, that means I don't run into anyone who asks me if I have any weed to sell.
Oh, yeah. And I can imagine you being asked that a lot, too, with the long hair and whatnot. I mean, if I was to see you on the street, and if I still smoked pot, which I don't anymore, but if I did, I'd go up to you. I'd ask you for a couple other things as well, but I mean, the first thing I would ask you is if you have any weed.
Oh, sure, you'll ask him for that, but you won't ask me.
But
Oh, that's-
what sucks is I'm so out of, I was never popular in high school. I mean, like, really not popular. There's the I didn't have many friends, and then there's the people just fucking avoided me.
You guys
I was
kind
in the
of.
latter
that would have been a
category.
step up from my high school experience.
Well, yeah, but thing is, I never learned these slang terms for these drugs. And then I'm getting walked up to on the street and asked for them, and I'm like, what are these?
No, sir, I don't have any Kijiji Ouija.
So someone looks at me weird, like, are you a narc? I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Do I have a disease?
It's like you feel like you stepped into this alternate reality where everyone is speaking another language.
We
Being
can't all.
narc? No, my sleeping pattern is just fine.
Yeah. I rest peacefully. Oh my god.
I am not prone to falling asleep while standing waiting for the bus.
Yeah. Besides, I can just tie my hair to the pole in the back of the bus and I'll be all right.
Indeed.
But creepy, just so you know, there is no reason I would not come up to you and ask you for weed. I just want you to know that now. If that
The
came,
sad thing is, that is probably one of the more flattering things anyone has ever said to me.
I said weed, not crack.
No, I'm just saying that's still one of the more flattering things I've ever heard someone say to me.
Decker might come up to you and ask you for some crack, but not quite
he'd
the
give it.
cocaine.
I couldn't ask Creepy for crap because he'd give it. And then I'd be there like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
it
I
just so
have to do
happens
it.
there are instructional videos on YouTube. Watch them before
Funny
they get
in my
banned.
head. Now what the fuck do I do?
But okay, before I go to another quick break, we're not going to stop this podcast. I do want to ask a couple more questions, or at least one more question. Okay, because this one's going to go out to Creepy, and then I'm going to have to ask Decker, because we never really got into this with Decker at all. Creepy, do you actually find, because I know you are bisexual, do you find Decker to be attractive?
Oh God, yes. I offered to give him head when he was down here. He declined.
I declined many, many, many times because I had to keep reminding him whenever he brought it up.
Can't blame a
Let's
guy
see,
for trying.
his two reasons for this is one, he had a girlfriend, which I respected, and two, he was bothered by the beard. Which I offered to shave for him because I told him it would grow back.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I'd bone Decker in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. I could tell. You throw
I'd
it in him.
invite you along too, John. Though, if
Ooh.
you-
That's the other good thing about the Mountain Dew is it was in a can, so I know he didn't slip anything in that.
You know what? I've become immune to the roofie. I think who was I talking to? Was it you, Creepy? I was mentioning this too.
Yes. That's why I'm laughing.
All these years, I didn't know you were supposed to give the other person the roofie.
It's been a learning experience.
Yeah. Now, okay, same question, Decker. I know
Yes.
I don't know if you're bisexual. I don't know if I know you're seeing a woman, but we don't know if you're bisexual or not. Are you?
I denied
I love the
head from
silence
creepy.
that's following
That doesn't
this.
necessarily mean that's you being loyal
Now
to
you're
your
sounding
girlfriend.
like creepy.
I am sounding like creepy. What have you done to me, creepy? but you're being loyal to your current spouse. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not bisexual.
Yes, but I am not attracted to men. So that kind of works against it.
You notice he didn't actually say no there. Because your question was, did he find me attractive, not men and
Creepy's not a normal man, Decker.
You see, the problem is, if I would have sex with Creepy, I doubt it would be a choice.
Well, I engaged
Wait a
this
minute.
reputation of being a serial rapist on Mannequin's Show, and I'm not entirely sure where it came from.
Hi, Tara. What
You
are
know-
you doing?
Yes, I forgot to mention, Tara is Decker's cat, and apparently she wants to jump his bones too.
Ah, yeah. I've actually witnessed some of Tara's interaction with Decker in some of his videos,
Yes.
which is one of the reasons I actually thought Decker was gay. And I'm not even
Thank
trying.
you.
No. Because most guys that have cats. Do you have a dog?
Well, Tara is my cat, and she is my only pet. My girlfriend and her, sister and mother, they have, let's see, there's Velvet, Darlin, Cosette, Hanyun, Jinjuya, Mister, Sacred, Grey Mulkey, Nin Nin, Rewind. Those are the cats. And then there is Sandy, Mimi, and Chibi, the dogs.
Wow. How do you film?
Most of it involves me getting a line out here and there and occasionally breaking out to, "Goddamn dogs!"
It used to be fucking cars.
Yes.
Now it's goddamn dogs.
What, do you miss the cars now?
Sometimes.
And the planes.
And the planes. Oh, I remember the planes. I heard those in the background. Okay, we're going to continue this conversation in a minute here. I just want to go for a quick break. I'll be right back, guys. One. And I hit one before I hit the pause button, so we're live, guys. People are going to really enjoy this podcast.
I really hope so.
We're already at 80 views, by the way, on yours, Creepy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
So each of your subscribers viewed it 10 times. That's impressive.
Oh, I'm talking just on Manic. I think we have one view on YouTube. I have my own personal stalker.
Congratulations. Now you and Decker can swap stories.
Yeah. Hey, Decker, I'm at 11. Oh, the other guy is me, so it's actually only 10 still. But oh, by the way, I took my shirt off. just thought I'd let
Yay?
you guys know.
Was that for me or for creepy?
It's for both of you. It's very warm in here. I have to close the doors and close the windows in order to get the traffic that is driving by, to quiet down a little bit, to set the mood. Because whenever I do these podcasts, I'm a little nervous at first, and as time goes on, you settle down, you get relaxed, and you're like, okay, everything's good. And then eventually I end up taking off my shirt. I didn't tell James when I was doing his, but it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was sweating my sack off, and I was like, I gotta take off my shirt. I didn't tell him. He was in the middle of talking about the movie or something like that, and I was just like, I gotta take my fucking shirt off.
Something like, freaking manic expression, something, 90 minutes, I don't care. Shirt comes off.
Yeah. Meanwhile, James is all like, so, and then. Meanwhile, I'm naked.
James is going to be listening to this. He's going to be like, you assholes.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I have to say, I've done a few of these now with some of the awesome people on the site. And James, it was a real pleasure to talk to the guy because, he's probably pretty busy himself. I'd assume so. Who am I kidding? Am I the only one that still works on Manic Expression?
I think Tim Deanna still has a job, and I feel sorry for him whenever he talks about it. Because one of the greatest things was the day when I quit Kroger.
Yeah.
I wasn't even supposed to quit yet, because I was trying. I was going to quit around a certain time frame between when, enough time to pack and move, and nothing really else.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend's mother, whenever she was ready to get us to go, that was when I was supposed to quit. But I was working at Kroger. Now, not only that, working overnight stock at Kroger. But my fellow employees were not exactly promoting sanity. Most of them weren't.
Who's telling you this?
Most of them weren't too bad. They just kind of came in and did their stuff and left.
Yeah.
But there were two that were seriously a problem.
Oh, yeah?
There's one who never showed up to work more than 4 hours late. Less than 4 hours late, I should say.
Yeah.
And also, on top of that, had this complex that they were, in fact, the hardest worker there. On top of that person, there was another person there who had been with Kroger for over 30 years. And therefore, because of Kroger's really fucked up contract systems and how things have went over the years, they actually were making not only far more money, simply because they were around for so long to be able to get all those raises, but they were making far more money than I was even allowed to.
Yeah.
Because according to the new contracts, my starting rate was also my ending rate.
Yeah. Grocery.
I had 5 years, no raise, never was an option.
Yeah.
And so they also had this thing where they thought that they were the greatest fucking thing ever. And they worked there for 30 plus years, but they were just a grunt. They were a grunt their whole life. And on top of that, what else they were their whole life was a fucking bully. They would just attack people personally.
Yeah.
And if you had anything that they could pick out, they would attack you for it. Me, one of the first things they attacked me for was for being white. Which sounds like a weird thing to be attacked for, but where I was working, I honestly was the only white employee there. Everyone else was black or Hispanic.
Oh.
And I'm the only white guy around, except except for the managers, actually. That's kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they attacked me for being white. Then they attacked me for having long hair and
There it
being,
is.
therefore
Yeah.
being queer. Then they attacked me for being a smartass, or rather someone who thinks they're smart. And I thought it was kind of ironic that they were accusing me of being someone who only thinks they're smart.
You were certainly the smart one to get the fuck out of there in time. Wow.
And I mean, they were just the biggest fucking asshole one of the biggest assholes I've known in my life. And everyone
And he's
was
saying
afraid.
this with me on the line.
And he's saying this knowing that we're recording, and this is not edited by any way.
Recording was my plan the whole time. Because you see, while I was getting ready to leave, but long before I could, his ass, Bully's ass, had an altercation with late motherfucker. They had a big argument over which one of them was the hardest worker. Now, take a moment to let that sink in. How big of a fight do you think this could possibly be?
I know how big a fight it was, but continue.
Well, it turns out that this fight is so big, they have to spill out into the parking lot and beat the shit out of each other over it. So all the other guys are going up there to look at the window, look at the front doors, and watch them fight. And they're like, "Oh, come on, come on!" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool. I got work to do."
Yeah.
Look, they all go up to the front door. I slip to the side by the window. My camera, my HD camera, is actually a Casio Exelim EXZR100. What all those silly little numbers mean is it is not that much larger than a cell phone. I mean, it's about an inch thick, but other than that, about the size of a cell phone. I kept it on me at all times. So pull that out, turn that on, zoom that in, record them beating the shit out of each other in HD. Turn that off, put that away, walk back to my aisle. No one's the wiser. Months go by. I'm waiting for my girlfriend's mother to get everything moving. And that guy is just being more and more of an asshole every day. He picks on me for everything, and no one does shit about it. And the only thing that made me not snap was just when I kind of stopped to look at him, and I was like, he's a 50-year-old bully. That's just fucking pathetic. But I still came very close to just losing it sometimes. And eventually, I got to the point where Kroger was seriously fucking me over because I needed more time for my videos. And I was having to just call in to work for every bullshit reason I could. And I got to the point where they were scheduling me more than I was asking for, even though they were cutting hours across the board. And they still, even though I was working 40 hours since I started there, still filed me under part-time so they could fuck me that much more. They wouldn't give me the 36-hour week or the 32-hour week I was asking for if I specifically asked for it, because they figured out it was Kroger versus video. Well, do the right thing with Kroger and fuck him over on his videos so he'll get back to Kroger. So they got me in the position where I was looking at it like, okay, if I take the time to make my videos, I'm going to miss so much time at work, I'm going to get fired. I'll just quit. So I came in during the day, and I gave them the news that I was no longer going to be working for their company. and I gave them a flashcard with a certain video on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this part.
And I didn't hand it to the main guy in charge, the head manager,
Yeah, yeah.
because one thing I learned in the months he was working there, he didn't do shit.
They don't.
He gave no shits and didn't care about taking any shit because there's just no shit to be had. So I wasn't about to hand that shit over to him. Instead, I went to the second in command, the one who was working on a promotion, the one who had to prove that he could do something in order to get the extra pay.
Yeah.
And I gave him the flashcard. And a few weeks later, one of my old fellow coworkers on Instagram, he sent me a message saying, "Oh my God, you got the fight on film?" Evidently, those two employees were not in the best position.
Oh, wow. Did they still continue to work there together after the fight?
That was after I had already... after the fight, they were working there together until I left. They beat the shit out of each other and then decided that they're both equally the best and went back to work.
Wow.
It's a guy thing.
Yeah, apparently. I personally don't like to be hit. Therefore, I do not fight. Because it's more than likely that in a fight, I'm going to get hit more than I'm going to be able to dish out the hits. And I just avoid that at all costs.
So, yeah. That's my story of how I quit Kroger.
Here at Kroger, we're determined to make your life a living hell.
I think Kroger took its cues from Walmart.
Yeah.
I did save up quite a bit of money before I quit. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't completely screwed.
That's good. That's
Yes.
good. How are you doing now?
Not so good. And I still have $3,400 in the bank.
Okay, we are recording this, remember?
Yeah. I'm like, Decker, you do realize that after saying this, you probably won't have it once this goes live.
Yeah.
I have about bleep, bleepy, bleep, bleep, bleep in the bank.
I can't edit that out, I'm sorry.
Learn to edit, man.
I'll send it to you. You can edit whatever you want.
I don't have time to edit your shit.
I was going to say, don't do that because he'll take out the part about his penis.
Why would I take out my penis?
The podcast will be 3 minutes long.
Hi, I'm Decker. I rule. The end.
Yeah. 3 minutes long and it'll be uploaded in 7 months. I'll be like, oh.
James is still waiting on creative chaos. He feels your pain.
Yeah. That's where I was going with that. I'm sorry, Decker.
I'm not.
Hold on, wait for it. Oh, don't you can't even. Oh, I had the drum roll ready and everything.
But the thing with the money situation is that I'm simply not earning as much as I'm spending, which is the problem. Mm-hmm. I'm currently at about $16 a month on Blip, and YouTube recently went up to about 10, which is funny considering YouTube has about 10 times as many views as Blip.
I wonder how that works, because that AdSense thing, I don't know.
Well, the problem with YouTube, I can't monetize most of what I have.
No.
At least according to their policies. But according to what people are actually doing, I'm kind of in a position now where I'm looking like, okay, are there more videos that I can monetize? Because everyone had that big thing that they yelled out about for the, Nintendo is taking the claim on videos on YouTube, and I was looking at it like, guys, it's in YouTube's policy. They had the right to do that from the beginning. Didn't you read it?
Yeah.
And evidently there are people out there who were just recording Nintendo videos and monetizing it, and that was going up perfectly fine, and they were upset at Nintendo, and that baffles me because I'm looking at the thing like, this has been the policy since day one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What was so confusing about that, and why are you upset now that it's being followed?
Yeah.
Were you the only one who read the actual terms and conditions?
I think
page?
so.
Well, you know what? We can't blame them for learning how to read. I mean, we can't stop that from happening.
So, I mean, I haven't monetized any of my reviews on YouTube. They're up, and the only ads playing are ads on the ones that the people say, you have our copyrighted material, so we're going to make money on your video that you're not allowed to make money on. Kind of a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
I've pointed out before that because it is fair use and because I have added so much to it, it is my own production and therefore my copyright. And for them to make money on my copyrighted material without my permission is by definition copyright infringement. But it's the copyright infringement that's allowed on YouTube.
See, I don't see what the problem with that is. I mean, you know what you should do, Decker? In order to get the money, the cashola rolling in, what you need to do is do Decker's Movie in a Minute. Upload every hour on the hour for a month. You don't need that much sleep. All you need to do is pick a movie out of, the garbage and be like, all right, here's Bridesmaids, for example. It wasn't a bad movie, but I guess. And you can be like, all right, this is what happens. This chick wants to marry this guy, and they have these issues, and yeah, upload it real quickly. Make some money.
See, the problem with that, I think there are several things going against that. Number one, having to do it every hour. There's no way I'd have time to actually watch the movies, unless, of course, I just, read the synopsis and give a quick, recital.
Reading, schmeating. We've already discussed this reading issue.
Reviewing movies that I haven't actually seen with opinions that aren't mine. Brilliant. But
Yes.
on top of that, there's the...
Hey, a lot of people are already making money doing that, so why not you?
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Yeah. You could be the next James Rolfe, for all we know.
I kind of like James Rolfe.
So everybody loves James Rolfe. I mean, he's the innocent, guy that did a review of a video game one day and it ballooned, Nothing
But then
wrong with
there's
that.
the irate gamer. There are fans of the irate gamer who might take offense to this, but when I first heard of the irate gamer, honestly, I gave him a chance.
Yeah, same as me. I mean,
I decided I am going to see what this guy is and how different he is than James Rolfe. And I figured the best way to see his differences was by watching a review of one of the games that both of them have reviewed. There was the problem. Because it was the entire script from James Rolfe's video just ripped out, redone with a couple tweaks here and there. And that was just like, okay, no, never again.
Yeah. What do you think it is that he does right that the other guys just can't follow?
What, the irate gamer or James Rolfe?
James Rolfe.
I was thinking, I thought it pretty well established here that the irate gamer I don't like. I like that his videos end. I like that I don't have to click on him.
Yeah.
But James Rolfe, of course, he's got a...
What is it about him?
Mother is taunting me here with steak-flavored chips.
What?
I'm in the middle of an interview, and she's holding a bag of steak-flavored chips in front of me, and I'm like... Right, James Rolfe.
Foul temptress.
But thing with James Rolfe is he, of course, for years was working on just being a good director and figuring out how to be a good filmmaker. And it wasn't necessarily something he was trying to put into the angry video game nerd, but just based on who he is and what his skills are, it went into that, and
Yeah.
you can see it.
Yeah, and that developed
So-
over time as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of the things that you generally don't really notice if you're not looking for them. Just the way the cuts go, how one action goes into the other. I know a couple of the tricks myself, and I do utilize them in my reviews, but not nearly to the extent Rolf does, because I don't have nearly the experience and skill he does.
You're coming along. You're all right. I'd watch your videos.
Well,
You did manage to put in that neat little electrical static thing last year.
that didn't have much at all to do with my skill in cinematography, but thank you.
Hey, it was better than the special effects in the film we were reviewing together.
That is true.
And just for the record, no, you should not press the do not press button, especially during sex.
Oh my god.
That was sadly that was the only joke in the whole one of the if not the only joke in the whole film that was actually just the tiniest bit funny. You know, it was funny because it wasn't funny. It's like when someone tells a joke so bad or just so unfunny, you find yourself laughing because of the fact,
Yeah.
not because of the joke itself.
So that explains the success of my videos.
I just like watching you dance in the middle of a park go to that horrible 80s music.
That's not the only dancing I did, sir.
I know. What was that one you did about the model? That really bad B movie, and she had to take the place of this one model that was a singer, and they're all after her. It was like a conspiracy or something like that. Jeez, I don't remember the name of the movie.
Wait, what the hell are you talking about? Are you
This
sure you got
sounds
the
like
right
the plot's
synopsis?
Perfect Blue.
Yeah, you know which one? It's like a virtual reality, and she.
Oh,
Yeah.
cyber stalking.
Yeah,
The
that-
cyber stalking. No,
Thank you.
I know the one he's talking about.
Yeah, you'll have to forgive me for not remembering every name of every movie you've done, Decker.
I thought that's what you were talking about, except the synopsis wasn't right.
I'm confused.
Damn, I should have expressed the movie a little better.
Yeah, maybe you should have.
Well, then again, you reviewed that, last year, so he's had time to forget.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I do enjoy dancing though.
I scared the fuck out of a lot of people in that review.
Come on, dance with me, dance with me.
So
Come on,
it was
dance with me, dance
it
with
was
me.
funny when I was buying the stuff for my cyber stalking skit. So I was there at the shop, and I have the bra, the mini skirt, and the little lacy thing, and I buy that, and they're just kind of looking at me like, okay, and I take that bag with me down to the HEB, the grocery store, and I go there and I pick up some makeup and a couple coconuts.
Oh
I
yeah,
remember the coconuts.
I'm gonna one up you with that. All right, it was Halloween 2007, I believe it was, and at the time I was single, and I wanted to get a costume picked out because we were gonna be doing this big party with me and my friend, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do this year? I was like, I'm gonna go as a stripper, and so I went down to the local Value Village, which is kind of it's like a Sally Ann. You can pick up used clothes and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, all right, let's see what I can find there. And I find a pair of pleather pants, and that day I discovered I fit very nicely into a women's size 6. I still own the pleather pants, by the way. I had zip-up leather boots with those. And I found the best thing to stuff your makeshift bra or whatever you're wearing with. It's just a pair of socks. They thought it was real.
How would it be real? Well, I have a harder time convincing people with my goatee and all.
I had to shave. I did shave. I always have a beard.
And I do have a very prominent Adam's apple. I like to think that I look manly.
Manly.
And then there are your enormous hands.
Yeah.
Gigantic nose.
For God's sakes, man, shave those knuckles. It's not convincing.
I object to this costume. It's horribly inaccurate. Your thighs are nowhere near muscular enough to be a stripper's.
Yeah, you cannot bear a child with those thighs.
I speak from personal experience. The strippers I have met generally have well-developed thighs. Like, there was this one girl, I swear, she could have squeezed a watermelon until it cracked open with her thighs. They were that, I mean, it's not like they were even really all that, they weren't big or anything. They were just so very toned.
I like how we need a bisexual on every podcast because you can admire both sexes and you can point out features from both.
No, I mean, like, oh, this was a female. I'm not talking about a male stripper. I mean, I meant a female stripper. I mean, she had nice legs. She had very very nice calves, very nice, inner. Anyway, they were just so incredibly developed because she was sitting. I'm not entirely sure if this is a story that belongs on a podcast, but okay, fine. She was sitting in my lap and she was just squeezing me, and I'm like, damn. Like, she is very good at this.
This podcast just went from PG-13 to at least an R rating.
Good.
Yes. Again, the disclaimer.
I guess that's why the disclaimer is there.
Yeah. What about all the people that listen to it that aren't, 18 and up?
Well, there was that warning in the beginning.
Yeah, technically that's true. All these innocent kids, like, they're gonna be sitting here like, what's a stripper? Creepy explains strippers to these children.
Okay, well, you see, there are these certain places in certain areas, maybe where you live, maybe not. Maybe you may have to drive to get to them, where women, and in some cases men, will get up on stage and dance around or on a pole while in various stages of undress and while slowly going through various stages of undress.
I do have one question for you guys. This is something I've heard recently. Is it true that the strippers in the U.S. are not allowed to remove their underwear?
In all of the clubs that I've been to, yes.
So they have to leave the undergarments on, like the panties.
Yes. That is in public shows. In private shows, I believe it's different.
It is completely opposite here. It's fully nude.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I seriously need to move to Canada.
Decker.
Decker is going to renounce his citizenship.
Yeah.
Well, I've been ready to renounce my citizenship for over a decade, but I've always picked the difficult countries. I was like, okay, how about I go to Finland? They're like, Finland doesn't want you. Okay, how about I go to Norway? Like, how do you say fuck off in Norwegian? Okay, so Canada. Yeah.
It's close
like
enough.
Right there.
Yeah. And they always say that we're so polite here. We're really not. I don't know where they got that from.
I never believed that. I never believed that for a second.
Yeah. We're very stuck up here. There's a lot of snobs here. Yeah.
I've heard that, actually. Hey, Decker, guess what? You'll fit right in.
Yeah. All right, Decker, I got a bunch of old movies you can review. You don't have to bring anything. I got a couple cameras. You two creepy, come on over. You guys are always welcome.
You do realize that by saying this on the air, you have doomed yourself, because this will most likely happen someday.
Uh-oh. I will prepare the cot. I do have 3 bedrooms.
Which one of us gets the cot, or is this one of those things where he and I have to share the cot?
Oh, I was gonna say the girlfriend's gonna be sleeping on the cot because we're gonna be sleeping in my room.
Oh, awesome!
Decker's already off. He's like, I'm out.
Back in the
bags. Yeah. No. What the hell else are we gonna talk about? We talked about Decker's penis, Creepy's penis.
Hey, we never got to talk about my penis. My penis feels very left out now.
I was gonna leave that to Decker to bring up. Get it?
Oh. Okay, Decker, start talking about my penis now.
Creepy has a penis. The end.
Oh, I was hoping for a nursery rhyme.
No. I know what he's doing. He's avoiding this. He has a story to tell, and it involves my penis.
Really?
It does?
Decker?
Remember last year? I think it was in November.
Right?
Is there
Or
another
should
Decker?
I tell this story? Because Decker seems to have gotten tongue-tied.
I'm trying to remember. Was I drunk?
No, I don't think so.
I am.
Oh, wait, yes.
Oh,
Now you're...
yeah. You keep in mind, guys, I have no editing skills. We're looking
I'm just
at
going to stay out of this one.
we're looking at a 2 hour and 15-minute podcast so far.
We haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
All right, go. Oh, really? There's more? I'm out of beer. Okay, I want to hear the story. Go on. I'm sorry.
Creepy.
So you're passing it to me now.
I barely remember, and what I do remember, I don't want to talk about.
Is it that good? You guys realize one day you guys are going to be pretty big hits on the interweb, the Webernet, if you will.
I love that, the Weber net. I'm going to use that somewhere.
I want it in your next Scooby-Doo interview or review.
That's awesome. But no, okay, long story short, there was at one time a photo online. It's not there anymore unless someone like cut and pasted it, which is entirely possible, but there was a photo of my cock. Semi-erect, not standing full at attention, but getting there.
Okay.
I showed it to Decker.
Oh no.
I sent him a link via email, and then I called him. I hung up. I sent him the email with the link, and then I called him back. And when I called him back, he's like, "The fuck am I looking at?"
Somebody swallowed the whole elephant except for the one leg.
And he's like, "Dude, if you got a running start, you could take out a castle wall."
Oh my god.
So despite the alarm and horror that was in his voice, that was still quite flattering.
Ah, yes, I remember that. I did say that.
Yes, you did.
Oh my god. How do I edit? If anybody has any experience in using Audacity, the program, please explain to me before I upload this, because tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up
I can be
and I'm going to...
audacious, but I don't know if that's the same thing.
The name of the program is Audacity.
Oh, that's just making things confusing.
Right?
So you're going to upload this while you're drunk, and tomorrow morning you're going to hate yourself.
That's why I like Cyberlink Power Director 11 Ultra 64. It's got so many words and numbers in it, and only one has anything to do with videos.
Yeah. I do use Cyberlink, but this is strictly for just podcasting. And it's nothing to do with video. So I don't know how to edit this yet. It's just, I usually just literally do the countdown, hit record, and that's it. Let it run.
So you're not going
I
to
have
be able
Cyberlink Wave Editor, but I don't like it because its name isn't as confusing.
Oh, Wave Editor. I think I might actually have that too.
Darn, there goes my penis story.
Oh, it's not going anywhere. But when I upload this tomorrow, it's gonna have a big warning sign at the beginning, and I'm gonna be getting the August update from James saying we had to kick the moderately annoyed Canadian off the site. I wonder if that guy with the glasses is looking for a guy that's willing to interview anybody.
Nah, James will probably listen to this and burst out laughing. Remember, he was the guy who laughed for 20 minutes straight when Decker and I came out of the shower together.
I laughed for 20 minutes straight when you guys did. I watched that video.
Creepy. Were you listening earlier in the podcast when it wasn't being aired yet and we were talking about you, but you didn't hear it?
I don't have magic, Decker.
Well, there was always a chance.
True.
But, Creepy, do you know what the percentage is on viewing on the Playmate of the Apes episode?
I was not aware. What is it?
Well, because it, is one of the more viewed recent uploads of mine, well, more recent, more viewed uploads, it has a little thing saying how much of the video is viewed on average, and it has a little chart showing where people view it more and where people view it less. It just so happens that about 90% of viewers stop within the first 2 minutes, and the average view length is just slightly over 3. Something about us, in the shower. People who search for porn on YouTube and find it, and the first thing they see is 2 guys in the shower moaning. That just sends them running.
I want to find out I want you to get the stats on the other few that actually sat through the rest of it to find out what was going on.
Did he tell you the story behind that?
The shower scene?
Yeah, the shower scene.
I got a little bit of it. I from what I understand, it was Decker's shampoo.
Yes.
What else did you say, Decker?
He's got that big mirror.
Yes, the big mirror in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah. It was that was actually what we filmed. That was one of the last things we filmed. We filmed we filmed everything about the review, that was with us on the couch. We filmed that first, and then we filmed the shower scene last. But let's see. I believe Decker was the one who took a shower first, alone. I'll spare him any teasing for this one time.
Thank you.
He showered alone, and then I showered.
Whose house was this? This was yours, right, Creepy?
Yeah, this was at my place. This was my shower.
Decker, hold on. I will let you continue in a second. I have to ask this. This is all about the because people like things that are the kids today. They like controversy, and they like shit like this. So I gotta ask, Decker, were you really willing to go into a guy that his name is Creepy, into his bathroom? Were there cameras? Were there holes in the wall? And was this a two-way mirror? Do you know for a fact that this was not filmed? And also, how do you know that the reason he wanted to shower after you, Decker? I'm just saying. Decker's looking back now. There was a weird light behind the mirror.
I have a good friend here. Why are you trying to ruin this?
You're right.
Mean.
I'm sorry. Go on. I apologize. Continue your story.
Yeah. So once we were done, we were both done showering. He set the camera up, and then we put we both went in. We both went into the bathroom together. We both had towels wrapped around us, and we turned the water you hear running was water from the faucet. We just turned the faucet water on, and then we both just started moaning. and we're standing there, we're looking at each other in the big bathroom mirror, and while we have towels wrapped around us, and we're doing this, and we're both trying not to burst out laughing.
Yeah. Okay, so now under these towels, were you wearing boxers, briefs?
Nope, I wasn't.
Of course you were. I meant Decker.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to get them wet.
Oh, there it is. This is the stuff that the people like to hear.
Yeah, we were both naked under there.
I would assume nothing less. Nothing less.
Yeah. You must
Decker
suffer
was-
for your art.
Yeah.
Decker was willing to freeball it in enemy territory.
That is pretty risky. But then again, we've all gone to the gym, and some of us shower, once or twice a week, and you're comfortable to a certain degree. I mean, around other people, when you're, especially when you're in a gym or a swimming pool of sorts.
Sure. Gyms and swimming pools. I've been there, yeah.
Who am I kidding? I've never done anything physically active in my life. I made that whole story up. I've never even showered naked. I'm sitting here. Who am I kidding? I'm sitting here naked as we speak. Every hour that goes by, I lose another article of clothing because it's so warm in here.
You do realize that eventually I'm going to start demanding that you send me photos, right?
I'm still wearing a wristwatch on my penis. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. We're recording.
So it's 1 o'clock.
Yes. So, how am I going to edit this for real, guys? You think I'm joking?
Editing is for sissies.
Oh, you're right. This is going to be a 3-hour podcast.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're at 2 hours and 26 minutes and 9 seconds.
Damn.
He has it down to an exact science. He's like you.
Since record.
Yeah, I am recording it. Technically, it's right in front of me. But I didn't expect it to go this long. I usually get the first few questions out of the way and then let the guests talk about whatever they want to talk about. And then, this one's gone really weird.
This guy can talk about anything for hours on end. No problem.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about sandwiches again.
Unless it's about his penis. Strangely, he's not very talkative about that.
I would rather stay off the subject. That's all. That's all.
There's a lot of fans that are very happy that he's not going to talk about his penis. And I'm sure there are a lot of fans that are very unhappy that he won't. I'm sure. Right?
I'm sure there are some of them there. Waited 3 hours and he still didn't talk about his penis.
Yeah. They're trying
All of those people who stopped watching Playmate of the Apes after the first 3 minutes.
Yeah. How about next time we do this, I should just be like, in 2 minutes, Decker will talk about his penis. And then 2 minutes after that, it'll be like, in 10 minutes, Decker will talk about his penis.
Oh,
I was gonna do this with Mark, not the same thing, like the big black hat man.
you were going to talk about Mark's penis?
I don't know if he'd be down for that. He seems like he's pretty open for the most part, but I didn't want to bring this kind of thing up. That interview got about a PG rating, I think.
Oh, Mark's a cool guy.
Oh, he is. He's awesome. Yeah.
Mark is awesome.
I'm doing the digression session tomorrow.
Ooh,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, this will be my second one. I did one a month ago now.
I don't think I've done a digression session. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, why haven't you guys? Have you? Creepy, have you?
He invited me once, and I would have liked to, but unfortunately that was the day that I had left like a bunch of crap around the house that needed doing, and I was like, I really want to do this, but I can't put this off I feel like I can't put this off any further. I need to get a lot of this shit done. So I was like, unfortunately I had to decline, but I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say no, assuming, it doesn't come on a day like that. I wouldn't say no to doing it in the future. Hey, Decker, has anyone asked you to do one yet?
Yeah, have you been asked to do one, Decker?
I am absent-minded. They might have. I don't remember.
I don't think he has.
I don't think so either. Let's not talk about him anymore.
Oh.
Oh, Decker, you're still here. Weird.
Hey, what's going on over there?
Hey, who did your art for your picture there?
Oh, that's Woody Harron from GU Comics.
You guys have some
Cost quite a bit. I actually wanted to do another one for the 2-year, like the second season, as I was calling it, but unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can just spend another $300 willy nilly.
Would you be willing to pick up like a part-time job?
I was thinking about that simply because I'm kind of sick of having, no spending money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I've been buying stuff, but it's just been eating away at my savings.
Yeah, and that sucks. Are you planning on buying a home or trying to get out with the girlfriend?
I have no idea at this point because I'm like I'm about 30 now, and wow,
Did I just freak you out?
that's pretty much as far as my thought process goes in that sense.
I can remember I was relieved when I was 30. I remember once I got past the 30 mark, I was looking back on my life and I was like, you know what? I'm proud of not being 20 years old anymore. I'm glad my 20s are past me.
Well,
They were
now that I'm into my 30s, I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, you know what was the big deal? I don't really care anymore. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, my 20s were more about, trying to make ends meet, it wasn't about getting drunk on weekends or going to parties and stuff like that. It was more about just, trying to keep my head above the water and, just constantly struggling to find a way to move out and, move somewhere else and so forth. So, I'm happier now that I'm very happy to see my 20s over with.
I didn't have the biggest push to get away from my family as you did, but since I was in my late teens, I was working in jobs I hate, and I always wanted to do bigger and better things. And honestly, for a while, I was wanting to do, I wanted to make video games, which of course requires a lot of, time in college, which I couldn't afford and I didn't have time for.
Yeah.
And then there's the other things. I was like, okay, maybe I could be a heavy metal bassist. But turns out people don't like bassists that much.
Plus, you're not nearly enough of a man whore.
Yeah. That could be a problem. Being in a band, you kind of need to be okay with the groupies and, open to other sexual innuendos.
So, guys, you can party hard and have all the sex with loose women and all the drugs you want, but I'll just go over here and practice bass, okay?
And develop video games as well.
But yeah, so that I like my bass. I still enjoy playing it. I like to scream every now and again while playing bass, usually because I pluck something wrong and it pulls on my fingernail. But
Yeah, I've been playing guitar for 18 years now.
damn.
I love it. I love
See, I never
it.
got the chance to pick up a bass until I was 23.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of sucked when it came to trying to learn.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a nice way of relaxing too, I find.
But so I mean, I was trying to figure out what the hell I could do. I tried having a little webcomic for a bit. That went nowhere.
A webcomic, you say?
Yes. Oh,
Fascinating.
Tell the fans more, because we're still recording. 2 hours
Oh,
and 33
the
minutes
problem
still.
is Creepy heard that. But the webcomic I had way back when was about a little cute demon.
Okay.
And it was supposed to go on and have, kind of character building and whimsical adventure and this, that, and the other thing. And, well, no one went there. Then eventually my domain expired and someone else bought it and they wanted to charge me $5,000 for it. And I was like, okay, fuck that. It wasn't even a very good one. I liked the sound of it, but the problem was I couldn't tell anyone about it because they always got it wrong. And and that was so frustrating because the character, the little cute demon, was an imp named Chal.
I would have watched it or read it or looked at it.
Chal.
Okay.
Chal.
Okay.
And I called the website I Love Chal. And that was the name of the web series. I Love Chal. And I tried to tell people about it, and they thought it was either about food, I love chow, or pedophilia, I love child. So I'm like, no, you sick bastards.
I love child. Child. Damn you people, can't you hear me?
So that really didn't go quite as well as I had planned.
Decker's Shadow, the internet personality with the best sell. Hey Decker, while we're recording and people are gonna listen to this and you don't come across as an arrogant asshole, is there any way you would subscribe to my website, become a member?
No.
Damn it! Not even that would work. And now I can't even edit out my own ignorance.
Sorry.
My own sorrow.
Hey, I've already joined. I'm still waiting for my own channel, damn it.
Yeah, Fusionator's probably working on that as we speak.
Oh, so how's the site work in regards to in conjunction with manic expression?
It's a sister site. Yeah, and don't think of it that way. It's not a chow site. Yeah, just go to the site, all right? I'll give you it right now. All right, you online? Apparently.
Obviously online.
I'm drunk. Leave me alone.
We're talking over the internet.
I thought I was talking to myself.
which and we're not downloading, by the way.
Currently, we're uploading.
Currently.
Yeah, but tomorrow, if you decide to listen to this, you'll be downloading. Downloading the very thing you were uploading.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, are you ready, Decker?
Yes. I that means something else coming from Creepy.
he must have really gotten you at one point in your life. All right, I need you to go to the sabotageshow.webs.com.
Okay. http://www.thesabotageshow.webs.com.
Mm-hmm. Creepy's already a member. He was actually one of my first members.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, here I am. So, want me to subscribe, eh?
You don't have to subscribe. Just go to here. I should probably know my own website. You're gonna want to go to. You see where it says on the left-hand side, right beside the members.
Register.
Yeah, that's the one. Tell him, Creepy. You've done this recently.
So the CAPTCHA is just ridiculous.
The what?
The CAPTCHA.
Ah. Do you like that?
Did you design it?
Well, somewhat. I worked along Fusionator. I worked with Fusionator, I should say. He did most of the work. I kind of helped pick out some of the images.
I'm used to the CAPTCHA being, Gruflurk plus 79978 time.
Oh.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And this one just comes up and is like, lol, rat. What? I was not expecting that, but it's very welcome that I actually know what the hell it is.
You know what's really weird is I have more followers on Twitter than I do on YouTube, and double that on my Facebook page. I have that many people on my Facebook page, yet none of them are subscribed to my site. I really went about this whole thing the wrong way.
I think so.
Wow.
Your quest timed out Fuck you.
You gotta try. You know what? That happens to everybody. I don't know what the problem is.
I'm trying to remember. Did I have this problem? I don't think I did.
Les did.
Yeah, I remember. I remember Les saying he had that problem. I didn't though.
Yeah.
Is the thing? I don't think I had this problem when I signed up.
Like, I tried to leave a comment on one of the blogs that were posted on here, and it takes me, it wasn't like a long comment, but it was like a couple of minutes. And I went to hit post, and it was like, this request timed out. What? It's my website, fuckface. I'll tell you when you can time out.
Think it's a problem with webs, maybe?
It might
I think
be.
that's actually the case.
Yeah, but it seems to be consistently doing that, though. It hasn't, like, gotten any better, so...
Oh, for fuck's sake. I typed it in as quickly as I could. Like, okay, here's the password. Here's the password again. Here's the... Boom, boom. Your request timed out. Please retry the request. Fuck you! Fuck you!
See? It likes you, but at the same time, it wants you to play with it a little bit. Kind of like Creepy does. Play with it, Decker.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't spend half the podcast trying to desperately make us for the Sabotage show. I just no.
Did it work? Did it work?
I gave up.
No!
I'll try later. Right now, I got to talk about sandwiches again.
Oh, yes, back to sandwiches.
Did I mention that sandwich that James had?
What? James had a sandwich?
Yes, James had a sandwich.
Have you met James in person?
No.
Oh. I have this visual in my head of him looking and acting a lot like Seth Green.
During the filming of the Haunted from Within review,
Yeah.
have you seen that one?
When was this one filmed?
That was a recent one.
Okay, that's probably why I haven't seen it, because I've been so fucking busy.
Ah.
But I will. I will.
In Haunted from Within, there's a character that looks a hell of a lot like James.
Are
So
you sure?
I requested James to do a crossover, and he agreed to. I was waiting for him to get his not a crossover, a cameo, a series of cameos, really. But he agreed to that, and I was waiting for him to get back to me to send his footage, because I finished scripting it and sent him the bits, and he hadn't responded. And then I was working on editing the video anyway, as much as I could without his parts, and I finished editing it with the big gaps in it where he was supposed to be, but wasn't. And I was sending him messages, and he was not responding. And I was calling Creepy, and I was like, dude, you gotta help me. James, he's not responding. And Creepy was like, I'll get on it. And James started talking back to Creepy, and Creepy was telling me what James was saying, and I was saying okay. And then I was calling Creepy up in the middle of the night, and I was like, Creepy, you gotta talk to James for me. I can't find it. He's not responding. I gotta get it's due tonight. I gotta get it tonight. Oh my god. Creepy gave me James's number, and then I called up James, and I was like, James, you gotta do this. He's like, I'm just about to go. I gotta have lunch first. And I said, you are not going to have that sandwich. Wait a minute. What are you going to have for lunch? Actually, I'm going to have a sandwich. I knew it! I knew it!
I remember the sandwich thing now.
James. Awesome. Damn you guys.
James is the sort of guy I really want to hang out with someday.
Yeah, same here.
He did get the footage to me, and I was able to put it together and have it ready.
Nice. I have to watch
And
it
then
now.
he was and then he was messaging me back complaining about how Decker was being a whitey bitch.
Good job.
So much for the rules, eh? I knew it. James is the troll the whole time. Damn it, James. So, can I ever be in one of your guys' videos? Would that be cool? Or, could I ever do that? I can't really act or anything, but I can sit here and not wear a shirt.
You can be in one of mine.
Yay!
What do I get in return, though?
I'll give you Decker.
I'm not yours to give away.
Oh, you didn't listen to the disclaimer? You just read it?
Oh shit!
I can accept those terms.
He's yours.
Crap.
Nah.
I just want to do somebody's because I had so much fun doing that one with Mark. It was awesome. It was like the most fun I've ever had ever.
I had a lot of fun filming today.
Did you?
Yes.
And when will we see the? I shouldn't give it away. I guess we've already talked about it though. Decker and Dragons.
Yeah, today I was filming episode 3 of Decker and Dragons, which is not the episode 3 that was planned, but the episode originally planned for episode 2, but got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed until episode 2 turned out to be something else, and then I was planning something else for episode 3, and then episode 3 turned out to be delayed and delayed and delayed until this finally came up, and then I was able to say, okay, this is episode 3 now.
Wow.
Makes a lot of sense, right?
It's been a long time though since you released one.
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah.
But I was kind of apprehensive about this because the first one completely unscripted, done in a day, and it just happened to work. The second one was scripted and planned, and I think that went a lot better. That's my opinion.
Yeah. What do your fans think? Your subscribers?
I didn't get quite the same feedback I did for the first one. Okay. Anyway, this one I knew kind of what I wanted to do, but I also knew that there was practically no way I was going to be able to script it ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I just kind of figured, okay, we're going to ad-lib it again.
Nice.
And that's kind of what we did, and I had some things set up in the opening that I did, but even though it looks like something that could have been scripted, it actually came out more like the original Decker and Dragons episode, because I seriously just came up with the opening off the top of my head, and we just filmed it. And then as the main meat of the episode goes on, then it's just kind of whatever we can think of while we're going about it. That's what we catch on film until finally we got the big finale part, which I don't know if it'll be as fun to watch as it was to film, but I had a lot of fun with that. And it was really good because it was for the first time I actually had a really long take in Decker and Dragons. You notice how a lot of times the camera angle just suddenly changes here and there? Usually that's because either I or the twins forgot our lines. Or we were trying to come up with something off the top of our heads and it didn't come out quite right, and I say, okay, let's try that again. And for most of the third part of this episode, it's all one take.
Cool.
That's got to be pretty tough though.
We were just having fun with it. It wasn't. It was just coming naturally. So it wasn't really. I wasn't thinking, okay, we gotta be careful with this because if we screw this line up, there were no lines. We were just doing whatever the hell we felt like with it.
Nice.
We set up a little basic thing and we just went with it, and actually it was really fun.
So when do we get to see this one?
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta finish editing my next big review. And I hope that I'll be able to finish editing that tomorrow, and I hope to see if I can start working on getting the third episode of Decker and Dragons ready to roll sometime after that. Not after it goes, after this next review goes up, which obviously is Wednesday, but after the next review is finished editing.
Yeah.
So in other words, we're not going to get to see it right now.
Oh, that's disappointing.
maybe sometime in September.
Boo.
Wow, that's a long time away. Damn you, Decker.
I got so many plans for Decker and Dragons that it was just going so slowly, and it's frustrating. Well, one of the problems actually is the problem that was brought up in episode 2. With the twins and how much time they spend making characters.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Because
They
one
made you
thing I
sit
was
in the other room.
thinking about for episode 3 for a long time was a continuation of the Michu adventure. And the problem was the twins had to finish their characters. And they still haven't. This is what I was talking about.
Anyone who has ever played D&D before knows what he's talking about.
Yep. I have never played it, but I've heard enough about it.
Yeah.
And I'm there like, girls, you really don't have to go into this much detail with it. These are characters for episodes of a web series.
And it's happening anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they're trying to put their characters together, they're there with the rule books all spread out, trying to figure this, that, the other thing, and all that, and write all this down. And I'm just like, guys, I really want to script the next episode. But I gotta know who is acting in it. What is the cast of characters that I have to work with? Then I can script it.
Yeah, yeah.
Will either of you be making an appearance?
Wow, that's crazy. Do you find they're pretty easy to work with? Besides that part of it? The twins.
Well, I mean, they're willing to try, which is honestly good. If you've ever had to try and work with more than yourself in video production, having someone who is willing is a godsend.
Yes.
But because I have been doing it for as long as I have, I still kind of get frustrated because it's like, how could you forget that line? You were supposed to say, and you, and you. How is that hard?
You become this vicious director.
I can remember having something similar happening during our big crossover.
Well, I had an excuse. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
Was Decker treating you poorly?
No, it wasn't that. It was that he kept forgetting his lines. It was like this. I remember we had the hardest time with the opening, of our reviews. You know, because it was like this. It was basically a short conversation between the two of us, and he could not get that down.
Well, he was traveling for a very long time.
True.
He had not slept. You gotta give him credit. He was probably just happy to get that Mountain Dew.
Yes. I'm really looking forward to hearing him tell that story. I mean, I was there, but I'm looking forward to hearing his side of it.
Didn't I already tell that story?
But Creepy wasn't here for that portion of the story.
That's what I'm saying.
But I already told the story.
You told it earlier, but he wasn't here yet.
But I forgot now.
No. He'll listen to this podcast tomorrow. He'll have to sit through it for 4 hours by the time we're done here. And then he can finally hear the story.
And then I can finally hear the story at long last. I can also hear us talk about Decker's penis.
Again. Well, actually, I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed.
We should do this again someday, though.
We can do it anytime you want.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, yeah. And I'm honestly exhausted.
I'm pretty tired too. So
Yeah.
this was great though.
All right, let's end this podcast by saying good night, Manic Expression.
Good night,
Good night, Manic Expression.
Bye bye.